Tail the tape at catchweight, a pivotal fight here for Michael BOJKOVIC, looking to get a winning streak of 2 at 24. NIEDZIELSKI, the veteran, at 35, 22-9, 9-2 for BOJKOVIC. Some differences there on the height and reach. Both guys known for being aggressive starters. Will it be the BOJKOVIC of old, or will it be the veteran NIEDZIELSKI?
So BOJKOVIC comes at 9-2. NIEDZIELSKI 22-9, 8 KOs, 7 submissions. BOJKOVIC has the 8 finishes with 1 KO. Kickboxing for BOJKOVIC, he's a knee specialist. You can see NIEDZIELSKI fight southpaw. Very, very agile, light on the feet. Great lateral movement, in, out, causing a problem for BOJKOVIC to get the crosshairs on the target. So BOJKOVIC needs to make a statement here tonight in front of a home crowd. He was on a 2-fight skid, took a win. Now he needs to make it 2 and build that base back up and the confidence. It has to be said, NIEDZIELSKI, not a regional level only competitor. He's legit. Bellator level opposition, and confirming his 22-win record, has genuine pedigree behind it. And you can see from the footwork in the upright, great skills, even though we know he's got great groundwork. That guillotine, a threat if it poses.
It's good pressure here from NIEDZIELSKI. That was always going to be important in a lot of different looks. The more looks, the better against BOJKOVIC, who just starts to get really, really tasty once he gets a little bit of an edge on you, once he sees you backing off. And NIEDZIELSKI did very good to put the front foot forward, his best foot forward.
Can he put him down? Yes, he can. BOJKOVIC perseveres, succeeds. And the body slam there from that position. Lands on top of his man, side control. Now, can he light him up? Needs quality work on the ground against someone that's got great BJJ skills. But can BOJKOVIC finish this now? Ground and pound's what he's going for, putting the energy in early doors. Well, NIEDZIELSKI doing a good job of trying to spoil it, but BOJKOVIC motivated.
Very physical attacks here from BOJKOVIC. It's good. The posture's good. Moving in on the hips is good and trying to stack NIEDZIELSKI, but effective, maybe not as effective as it could be if he popped the guard open or tried to pass.
So, trying to get arms free so he can power up on NIEDZIELSKI. Can he load the shots off? It's been spoiled, denied by NIEDZIELSKI. Great work off his back, it has to be said. And BOJKOVIC, the reaction to keep working, pushing through, and he's doing some very good work here now. One arm's through, and trying to get the shots off, Chris.
Yeah, again, you know, he's working really, really hard to try to get those punches and elbows on the inside, but on the flip side, NIEDZIELSKI is pummeling. You see him constantly reaching to the inside to frame. Bicep pummeling, reaching around the head, hiding his own head. There's lots of little tricks here to avoid the most damage, Will. And BOJKOVIC is using energy, and we've seen that be problematic in some fights. Faulty almost to the point.
Yeah, sometimes you could say he's a bit too leisurely, but good work there. He's allowed NIEDZIELSKI a reprieve in the upright. I don't know how this is going to play out.
Heavy 2 there from BOJKOVIC, Will. That landed.
Yeah, NIEDZIELSKI put some heavy hands on there, and I think he feels he can hurt NIEDZIELSKI. NIEDZIELSKI can't keep that footwork up consistently, but the surprises are there. And just one opening is all you need. And, good work from BOJKOVIC, keeping the guard tight, using the hands well, posting, getting the distance right. I'd like to see him use that low kick a little bit more often. Oh, good left, follows the right through. And Niedzielski looking just a little bit cumbersome. Speed of BOJKOVIC is the key here. He's not going to do it in the first. And a lot of fights that we thought would end. Well, from my lips to his ears, BOJKOVIC goes in behind that shot on the ground and pound. He won't do it before the bell, but that was great work. Much, much better. And BOJKOVIC will be pleased with that. Niedzielski, well, needs a strategy, and he needs it quick.
Shades there, shades of former Marko BOJKOVIC, finding, again, the blitz, the effective punches. But Niedzielski is a game player. You know, he looks a little tired. Maybe BOJKOVIC actually felt him exhausted a little bit a couple of times there when he had the guard locked up. But at the end of the day, you must respect the veteran skills of the Red Dragon.
So just looking here, Niedzielski kept distance and range, worked well, used the head to evade. But just when he got stacked there on the ground, took a bit of pressure but closed everything down. The ground game, very, very skillful. And just that last rush from BOJKOVIC meant that he had to spend the end of the round fighting off his back. But no harm done. We go to 2, and it's still anyone's match here. But BOJKOVIC, I think, will now start to up the ante, or at least he should, now that he feels a bit more confident. He's had a good look-see. And what's available from Niedzielski doesn't look that dangerous, but you can't tell. BOJKOVIC needs to have a care and needs to just focus on the job at hand and keep focused on what's in front.
And stop reaching. Sometimes he's reaching quite a bit and it becomes a little predictable. Niedzielski is certainly not going to be out of water with looking for the counter.
Yeah, he's tactically posting there to try and draw in Niedzielski. Niedzielski sharp with the right when he's in range. But that's what BOJKOVIC can do. Launch an attack from outside, get inside the pocket and then do the damage. But he's relying on one shot, and that may not be a good strategy against such a tough opponent, because he is very durable, Niedzielski, and he's starting to wear some of the best shots that BOJKOVIC has got in the arsenal. And then you question, what have I got to do to put this guy away?
Again, BOJKOVIC reaching for the right cross quite a bit, actually still looks fairly fresh. That's important. We've seen him get tired in some other fights, and training with Arispiev, as we saw earlier, who had an endless gas tank. If he had a good camp, it's likely BOJKOVIC would have had a good camp, and that's also promising.
So BOJKOVIC now starting to play with his food a little bit, and if he leaves himself open, could get tagged. I have to say, that chin, you can see it as clear as the Eiffel Tower. It really is available. Drops his guard, a little bit too overconfident. Still out of the range of Niedzielski, but he's able to do that at range. And Niedzielski in reverse gear most of this round, not really throwing up anything that could be called meaningful in the upright, and no attempts to take it to the ground. My bad. My lips to his ears. A little bit of a shoot there from Niedzielski. And he looks as if he just wants to ride the round out, which is not a good sign. And I think, oh, he got hurt there. Goes for the takedown to try and capitalize. BOJKOVIC realizes it. He tries to capitalize. And this could be the beginning of the end. He's got 2 minutes to do it, but it's on the ground. And can Niedzielski spoil him? Can he deny him? We saw in the first round that BOJKOVIC couldn't do anything in the ground and pound position. What can he do here?
That was amazing, Willie. Hit him with the stab kick off the rear teep, literally dug the toes in. Niedzielski felt that, no doubt. BOJKOVIC has got to go for the arm triangle here. He's going to look to pass, and he's going to look to secure it. But I would say forget about the submission. I think he could have an easy mount here and go for some ground and pound.
Yeah, I think that's where the capital lies. Profit to be had. Yeah, if he gives up the position to try and get that arm lock going, possibly. But he's being denied, and that's the superior ground game we're seeing from NIEDZIELSKI. And NIEDZIELSKI was hurt by that, but smart enough to capitalize by taking the single leg. And, well, we're here now. And tied up, BOJKOVIC using energy and effort to try and get out of this. He's tangled up, and NIEDZIELSKI still able to lock the legs up, keep him in halfway. He's passed now. In that side control position, what can BOJKOVIC do?
Nicely done from Marko BOJKOVIC. A lot of leverage there with the shoulder of justice off the left, and that allowed him to pry the right knee through and get the knee slice. Consolidate the position now. He's got some time. Keep control of the hips and the shoulders, and look to do some damage. Good regard here from NIEDZIELSKI. That was a lovely little flick of the hips. He's still defensively fairly sound, but like you said, kind of hanging in the fight isn't going to be enough against BOJKOVIC, who's up 2 rounds right now, Will.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, he's credible, NIEDZIELSKI. Absolutely credible. So finishes the round, and it's kind of one-hand clapping for NIEDZIELSKI in the sense that he quite hasn't got a strategy here, but we've seen this multiple bouts previously where it's not gone well in the opening, but it's turned on a sixpence. What BOJKOVIC has to be aware of is overconfidence. He's got to be aware that his opponent is still dangerous and still pull a rabbit out of the hat. And BOJKOVIC hurt NIEDZIELSKI there. And that's the thing. NIEDZIELSKI is able to take the best shots that are being thrown at him. BOJKOVIC, with that kick, caused the damage, but doesn't capitalize when he's on the ground and take full advantage of that positioning. Third and final, let's see how it plays out. You've got BOJKOVIC ahead on points, Chris.
I do. Yeah, a confident 2018 right now.
Let's see. Third and final round. Piotr NIEDZIELSKI from Poland fights blue. Marko BOJKOVIC from Serbia fights red. And a rabbit out of the hat required for NIEDZIELSKI. He needs a bit of a Houdini act to best BOJKOVIC at this stage. BOJKOVIC needs the W and doesn't have to do it in emphatic style. A decision win seals the deal, but he needs to make that chin less available and maybe not rush in to do something dramatic here, which might end in tears.
The posting from BOJKOVIC with the improved footwork is working. It's not glamorous, but it's helping him line up that right hand. But again, it's very predictable, you know, and as you move up in competition to the higher levels in this division, you need to show a little bit more complexity with your hands, and that's where I fear his development is still potentially something to desire a little bit more on.
Yeah, for me, NIEDZIELSKI, the playbook has been very limited. No formula that we can see as a strategy. An opportunist, gets caught again, lazy kick, and look at that, BOJKOVIC pops in the right hand, decks his man, now he's off his back, and we're over 3.5 minutes left for BOJKOVIC to work the magic. But again, BOJKOVIC hasn't been successful in this position up until now.
Let's see if he can open up this guard. He went for the knee slice previously, he can be a little bit more tricky here. Good head pressure. You know, he's a very physical, dogged fighter, but again, where he in previous fights was so dominant and threw long combinations and really threw the opponents, literally took the opponents out of their game. I haven't seen that same kind of intensity and ferocity in the last few fights.
So, lacking the prosperity of his endeavors in this position, BOJKOVIC. That's props to NIEDZIELSKI to defend off his back so well. He really has made it a very frustrating time for the Serbian to really affect that ground and pound that we know he can finish from. But certainly got the bandwidth, NIEDZIELSKI, but not enough to finish BOJKOVIC, just to hang there. And it's right, Chris, you said it, it's not enough.
Some guard play here from NIEDZIELSKI. BOJKOVIC doing a good job of making it, again, very tight control in this chest-to-chest position. Staying tight on the hips. It'll work, you know. It's been another blue-collar fight. It's the same thing we saw against Ivan Volchin.
So no dazzling crescendo. No supersonic BOJKOVIC finish that we're used to. But, you know, young fighters find that as they go up through the ranks and life becomes tougher in the cage, the opponents become tougher, that the work demand equally becomes tougher. And that's what Marko BOJKOVIC is experiencing tonight. On paper, he should have finished NIEDZIELSKI, but NIEDZIELSKI still in there hanging and making it, well, not a gift. Signs of wear and tear for the pole, but the clock ticking away. And I think that BOJKOVIC will overwhelm him, but just look at what NIEDZIELSKI's doing, tying those hands up, almost swimming to stop the ability of BOJKOVIC to come over the top and get the ground and pound into play. It's great work off his back. It's a masterclass, in fact.
Definitely, yeah, off the pummel, the adjustments of the hips, the ability when tired and fatigued. He was clearly very tired in the second round to be able to deal with this. Even when passed, regarding, you know, there is some defensively sound work, but it's the IQ of BOJKOVIC that I think could also be improved in a few of these positions.
Yeah, and these small margins that BOJKOVIC is making, 1 out of 7 shots landing, they're really not doing it. Clearly, it's going to go on judges' scorecards in favor of BOJKOVIC, but NIEDZIELSKI not under too much uncomfortable pressure. Great work off his back, and BOJKOVIC not able to finish, and that's a worry.
And you mentioned life in the cage. We could also talk about life outside the cage. It's been tough. Tough to get motivated to train, stay consistent. He had some injuries. There's a lot going on. When all that pressure, all those first round stoppages, all those highlight reels, comes down to this, working your way back into it.
Well, that's it. Bell's gone. It's the end of 3. This was a fight that on paper shouldn't have gone the distance. We're finding that surprisingly consistent tonight, but nonetheless, you can't take away Piotr NIEDZIELSKI has defended beautifully, masterclass in closing down and denying his opponents. Marko BOJKOVIC hurt NIEDZIELSKI several times over the 3, couldn't find the finish, but he needs that experience to stay, to be consistent, to work through the rounds and not find the glory in the first instance. And he's going to take the win here. Much deserved and much needed W. But yeah, it wasn't exactly a firework display. But hey, that's important for BOJKOVIC in his development going forward. He needs to know that it's not all gravy. And NIEDZIELSKI, well, looking a bit worse for wear. But in fairness, he did a lot of work to shut down a dangerous, dangerous opponent.
And the nonverbals really from both camps saying, I did what I could, I gave of my best, and that's really all you can do. BOJKOVIC fought the fighter in front of him, beat him in all the positions. NIEDZIELSKI hung on, showed he's the veteran, absorbed damage, avoided submissions. And we saw some great trades from both, but in the end, I think BOJKOVIC really reigned supreme tonight, Will.
Yeah, and, you know, classy, kept it clean, and always an imminent and persistent danger. But NIEDZIELSKI rode the score, so it's going to judges' scorecards.
3
Here's the
completed
result.
rounds of action. We go to your judges' scorecards, where we have a unanimous decision. All 3 scoring this contest 30 points to 27 in favor of your winner, In the red corner, Marco the Skull Crusher